All right, this is a demonstration of my game compilation code. There's only 2 games on it right now, but here's a quick rundown of how it works and what it is. So uh, up here are just some of the libraries I included. I didn't use all of them. I thought I would, but I ended up not needing all of them. The main ones are going to be IOStream for input-output, random for the random number generation, string for handling the string class. That makes it really easy and kind of like Python with how you can manipulate it. And then these other two, I'm not sure if they're required or not. I don't believe I used algorithm. And I'm not super familiar with this library, but I did include it, and I think it might help with some of the random number generation. So using namespace std is to make sure that you are using the standard library, and is helpful to shorten code because you don't have to keep writing std : before all of the cins and couts and things like that. These are basically like initializing the function before I actually write the code for it. And so now we can get into main. The first thing I do is create a game loop, kind of. It's more like a menu loop where we anticipate the user to pick a game, either the guessing game, a hangman game, and then one that's in development, which is the Minesweeper game. And then 4 just means to exit the game. If you input something wrong, then we let you know that you need to make a valid input, and then we keep looping through until we break. And the only way we break is if we tell the game that we're done. And so here's the display menu. Basically, just as I add more games, I'm just going to add, a different number for those and go up into the switch case and add those there. For this is the hangman game. So I have some things here that I wanted to try, like creating a list of the guessed letters. I give this is how much life the player has before they lose. And then we just initialize some other variables so that we can make sure we're keeping track of the word and things like that. And so the first player will type in their word, and that comes in as hidden word. And then we actually create the empty word to just be a bunch of underscores. And then then we basically use all of these new lines to make sure that the original word is hidden, because on a terminal it would still be visible. So we just new line until it's no longer on screen. Then we start the game loop, and in it we ask for a character. You can't actually just write the whole word out. You have to slowly fill it out with each letter. As you do, it will fill it out one letter at a time, unless there's more than one letter in there. And then if the player wins, then we exit, and if the player dies, then we also exit. And we just do a player life check. If the player is still alive, then we say, good job, you win. If the player ran out of life and that's why we left, then I say, better luck next time, here's the hidden word. Underneath this is my guessing game. I added some error handling, basically asking the player not to input something that would make everything crash. If they do, then it instantly returns and gives a big long thing calling them a monster. And then basically this srand right here will make sure that the random number will actually be random. If you don't have that, then when you actually call the random function like this, it will give you the same series of numbers every single time. And then right here, we start the game loop. Unless you get the answer right, then you'll just keep guessing and guessing and guessing. And afterwards, it will list the number of guesses that it took you to get the right answer. And so those are the 2 games and kind of how everything works. Here's a quick just demonstration of those. So here we're going to demonstrate the two games. So here's the first one. And so we jumped into the number guessing game. And so we'll give it a number between 1 and 5 is where we want to guess. So we're going to guess 3. That's too high. We're going to guess 1. That's too low. Guess 2. That's the right answer. And then we'll play Hangman, and we'll give it the word of hello. It has to be one word. It can't be 2. So then we use all those new lines to make it disappear. So now I have 5 lives, and player 2 is supposed to input a letter. So let's put H, and it fills that in. If we put in A, it'll say 1 less life, and you have to put it in your letter. And then E, L, O. Great, you won the word. You won. The word was hello. And then Minesweeper is in development, so it just says that, and then 4 will exit the game. And it thanks you for playing it. So that's my code and a quick demonstration and breakdown of how it works and things like that. So yeah, hope you enjoyed.